Good day, Lord and ladies, and welcome back to Rosewater, Cornish-Knight, a Let's Play series. As we dive back in, we basically were investigating the laboratory last episode, and of Dr. Clark, because one of our companions said there might be a fortune to be made, and we could use a good story for the newspaper. And a long story short, we have been captured by natives. The indigenous tribes have taken us, and now we're trying to get out. We tried to fake our way out with a fake pistol, but that doesn't seem to have worked. So we're going to have to try and talk about it. Why have you come? You're the same Nadine Doc Sedgwick mentioned.
Wait a minute. Weren't you Doc Sedgwick's apprentice?
That's right. You know him?
We spoke briefly.
That's good. I do miss working with him.
Does that mean this is a medical call?
The chief sent me to make sure none of you were hurt. She also wants to speak with whoever's in charge of your group.
That would be me.
All due respect, sir, but after that little trick you just pulled, you're out of the running.
I'll go then.
All right, come with me. I bring you Miss Harley Leger, representing the captives.
Thank you, Nadine. You may return and tend to the others.
I will.
Enter and be welcome. You may call me Chief Lutzi. I am responsible for the people of this village.
Pleasure's all mine.
You have violated the borders of the Autumn Nation, duly established by recognized treaty with your government. Miss Leger, why are you here?
We were looking for some soldiers. We were just riding along with Captain Stokes.
We were only accompanying Captain Stokes on a patrol.
You serve Stokes. Curious, you do not dress like a soldier.
We have nothing to do with the fort.
Who are you then?
I'm a journalist for the Rosewater Post. My companions and I are researching Dr. Bennett Clark. We only came to Stokes to ask for help getting inside the abandoned laboratory on the other side of the valley. Thought maybe you could spare some dynamite or something. But first we had to ride with him to find First Lieutenant Mulberry and his missing men.
I see. What did he tell you of us?
Let's just say he didn't paint a very pretty picture.
Unsurprising. Do you share his opinion?
Of course not. Stokes is no friend of mine. I'm still alive, and that counts for something. I don't know. Holding us captive is actually so good faith. Well, if they think we were trespassing, I mean, they could have just killed us outright. Let's count that. They did ambush us, so if they were intending to kill us, they would have killed us.
Well, you haven't killed me yet, so I'd like to take that as a good sign.
The Autumn mean you no harm, Miss Leger. However, for months, the fort soldiers have routinely violated our borders and harassed our people. Just last night, a band of them came, led by this man, Mulberry. They attacked us in our fields and set fire to our crops.
Were there any casualties among your people?
No deaths, although a number were burned or wounded in the fight. As for Mulberry, we captured him. He is under guard in one of our empty storehouses. Stokes has turned our village into a prison, and now he is recruiting civilians to come after us. I fear this will not end until everything we have has been turned to ash. But I cannot allow that. Something must be done.
We need to show Stokes that it's in his best interest to leave you in peace.
I agree, and I believe I know a way to do that, which will benefit us both.
I'm listening.
Our scouts have observed an army wagon making regular deliveries to the fort from Rosewater. It comes in the night, when few others are willing to travel. And always it arrives a day or two after the train stops in town.
Then that would be... tonight? I just arrived on the latest train into Rosewater.
Yes, exactly. I cannot know for sure, but I believe this wagon carries supplies, along with weapons and munitions. The soldiers use these to strengthen themselves, then come and deprive us of what little we have. If you and your people were to obtain them, it would be to our mutual benefit. We would have a means of defense, you would have the tools to enter this laboratory, and Stokes would be deprived of his armaments.
What raiding an army can be dangerous? Are you really sure that the raid will be worth it?
You're certain they'll be carrying something that's worth the risk?
I am certain that doing nothing is a far greater risk.
Tonight, then, huh?
Tonight, or not at all. The cover of darkness will be to your advantage. Our scouts have also noted that only 2 men guard the wagon.
Guess I'd better tell the others and get to planning.
You are welcome to rest here in the meantime.
Thank you, Chief Lutzi.
May the Earthmaker guide you.
I mean, this is a bad plan.
Everyone in good shape?
Mr. Luo has some minor bruising, but your friends are otherwise healthy.
Good to know. Hey, fellas, come on out here. We got some business to discuss.
This is not... The problem with this is that at the moment... it's one of those Catch-22 scenarios, which is that at the moment the tribe technologically isn't on the same standing as the army, so even though the army pushes them about, they don't see them as a real threat. So it's basically more like oppression, which is not great. I'm not going to lie, it's not a great thing they're doing. But the downside is that if we arm the tribe with modern weapons, the army will see them directly as a proper threat and move to eradicate them. So it's a bit problematic.
I take it your meeting with the chief went well?
The Hodam aren't your enemies. We need to help each other. Stokes is worse than we thought. I hope you boys are up for a little excitement.
Very well. In fact, we came up with a plan for how we can help these people and get what we're after. I hope you boys are ready for a little excitement.
Always.
Turns out the reason Mulberry didn't come back is that he was taken prisoner while conducting an unprovoked raid on this village. A raid Stokes himself ordered.
What?
Army soldiers have been crossing into Otham territory and attacking them without justification.
It's true. I have treated many of the wounded myself.
Hijo de la... We cannot let this injustice stand.
That is troubling. But what can we do about it?
Chief Lutzi suggested we hit him where it hurts, the fort's supply chain. So we'll be carrying out our own raid on a delivery wagon.
And to think just yesterday you were having reservations about robbing folk. Reckon it's true what they say about the frontier changing people.
Don't mind robbing for a good cause. I have no qualms about robbing from the government. It's our best chance to get what we're after. I don't mind robbing for a good cause. Let's go with... The problem is, like, robbing with the government, that's anti-revolutionary, and that's always problematic. Let's go with... I don't mind robbing for a good cause.
It may be stealing, but we're doing it to help the Otham. I can live with that.
Sometimes one must perform distasteful acts in service of a righteous cause.
Now listen up, because we've got some preparations to make. And the wagon will be coming through tonight, according to the chief. We can get the munitions Phil needs to get us into the lab, along with some weapons and supplies for the Otham.
Ah, the old 1-2 punch. I like it.
Only question is, what's the best approach?
I'm thinking we create a distraction. We get the wagon to stop, then you and I keep the driver occupied while Danny and Phil sneak the stuff out.
I prefer a more direct approach. You said the wagon was poorly guarded, eh? We have enough fighters to overpower them. When they see they are outmatched, we should be able to take what we need without firing a shot.
Wouldn't it be better to do this without drawing any attention? You could set up a roadblock, then sneak out what you need while they investigate.
All good plans. Have you got anything, Danny?
No, but I think we should be careful. Something like this could so easily go wrong.
So, what's it going to be?
Distract the driver while Phil and Danny loot the wagon. Phil attack the wagon directly. Nadine create a roadblock and sneak the supplies out. The thing with distracting is that it still leaves witnesses, and they will know us. So let's try with the create a roadblock and sneak the supplies out.
Let's go with Nadine's suggestion.
I do think it's best if none of us are seen committing this act of banditry.
Agreed. This is a stealth job. Nadine and I will search the wagon. You boys hang back and take whatever we unload. Well, we better get ready. Let's hope this goes off without a hitch.
Okay. I mean, the problem is that the other two were more likely to succeed, but it would have left us with, like, clear witnesses.
Tarnation! What's all this crap in the road? Oh, they don't pay me enough for this. Buford, get up here and help me.
We should hurry. I don't think we'll have long.
Okay.
Just a bunch of uniforms. Help me with this, would you, Nadine? Nadine, help me unload this. Jackpot. Here's some dynamite. And a good cache of firearms. These should serve the Otham well. There's also a letter.
What does it say?
It's a manifest. Hang on. Here's the combination for that safe.
Whatever you do, be quick. We haven't much time left.
Okay.
I'll be damned.
What is it?
Bars of Aurum. Lots of them.
Odd. Why deliver these to the fort?
Good question. Too bad they're marked. We could have had a nice payday, but at least there's a bit of loose cash in here. Let's roll this out to the boys. Hey, did you see these crates over here?
What about them?
They're all marked Rosewater.
Isn't this delivery coming from Rosewater?
Yeah, that's very odd.
We should go. The guards won't be distracted forever.
Right. Let's get out of here.
You have come back to us. Did you obtain what you needed?
Yes, with this dynamite, getting into the lab will be quite easy.
Then I am glad the raid proved fruitful.
Chief Lutzi, I am curious. Now that you can arm your people, what is your plan?
I can certainly understand your curiosity, General Marquez.
You know me?
We are close enough to the new Spanish border to keep informed of current events. To answer your question, we will defend ourselves. Peace has not worked against those who wish to harm us, so we must answer them with force.
You strike me as a wise and capable leader, but allow me to offer one piece of advice. Do not underestimate your enemy. Nothing angers a tyrant like a show of resistance.
I appreciate it, General, but I believe we will overcome.
I truly hope you do.
We found something else. A safe filled with Aurum bars.
And you did not take any?
They were all marked. Traceable. We'd have no use for them.
Caramba. It is always something, isn't it?
The last thing we need is the royals on us for stealing their Aurum.
The Royal Police? Nah, out here they'd send in the army. Or God forbid, the Blackburns.
The Union Busters?
Unions, heads, you name it.
The big question is, why send Aurum to the fort?
An intriguing line of inquiry, but I ain't sure the fort's dealings should concern us.
Perhaps not. But I am curious as well. Something unusual is happening here. Stokes was all too happy to aid our cause before my exile. Now he acts like a stranger. It cannot be a coincidence. I am going to charge my Lieutenant General with finding out more about these shipments.
Chasing more wagons full of Aurum?
Something like that. It is clear there will be no more aid from Stokes now, and I still have an army to outfit. Perhaps we will find something we can actually keep.
If money's what you're after, maybe you'd entertain the notion of joining our posse. That goes for you too, Miss Redbird.
What are you talking about?
I'll explain everything on the way back to the lab. Danny, you stay here and help unload the supplies. You can give Nadine the lowdown. Come meet us at the lab when you're done.
Will do.
I am sending one of our hunters to return Mulberry to the fort. He can show you the way back.
Much appreciated. Right, let's get a move on. You coming with us, Miss Leger?
Let's go with this one.
Damn right. Someone's got to be sure you don't blow yourself sky high.
Yeah, indeed.
And can it with the Miss Leger bunk? It's Harley.
Duly noted. Now let's get going.
I wonder if we could have taken the uniforms and done it like a false flag operation kind of thing.
Just one more thing before you go, Harley. You said you were a journalist, yes?
That's right.
Do you believe the townspeople would take an interest in our cause?
Some might. I can certainly tell my employer about the treatment you've received.
Please do. I have a statement I would like you to carry back. The Autumn are a peaceful people. We wish to be your good neighbors and friends. But if a Vespuccian soldier or any other person comes with violent intent to harm us, we will do what we must to protect our people.
Got it. Would you be willing to sit for an interview with someone from the post?
Gladly. My words are for all who will listen with open hearts.
I'll make sure your message is received.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks for showing us back, partner. We can take it from here. Well, would you look at that? Didn't think I'd be seeing old Jesse again. I'm keeping this arrowhead as a good luck charm. And who knows? Maybe some collector out there would be interested in acquiring the arrowhead that nearly wiped out Gentleman Jake.
Híjole. Is he always like this?
Okay. Among the old ham, we have made the acquaintance of Miss Nadine Redbird, the healer from the town of Rosewater. Jake thought it would be astounding tarangus of the natives with parlor tricks, but it took one glance at this woman to see how far that line of was that notion. I mean, it might have worked, but like I say, she is from Rosewater. Taking me from the most authoritative of the group, Miss Redburn had conveyed me to interview the chief. From her, I heard a cackle of insults and injuries lately perpetrated upon our people by Stokes, who understands, revealed a Brutus, the thug, as well as a coward. Existing troops were no mere patrol, but a strike force sent unlawful to assail the village in their homes and raise their crops and stores. One soldier fell in the skirmish, and the leader, Lieutenant Melbury, made captive, now sent home. The issue is, like, she didn't tell us that a soldier was killed. So if he's dead, that may give the government justification. That's not great, isn't it? Yeah. Chief Livera loses applied to our aid. However, Audacity had to propose we felt bound to offer assistance when we could. Nothing happened today much worth writing down. How have we been used? If so, I cannot find it within myself to be too much bothered by it. Perhaps we've used one another. I believe that is what they call a relationship. Why was that page ripped out? Oham Village Knight has obtained a number of firearms, plenty of food and supplies, enough to see us, her people, through the winter. We got our dynamite and a little extra. Went away also with a message which Chief Louis asked me to convey to our people of the Vespuccia. I have it here as he told it to me. The Oddham are peace of people. We wish to be your good neighbours and friends, but the Vespasian soldiers or any other person comes to violent interest to harm us, we'll do what we must to protect us. If Jenny got an appetite for some real reporting, there is a story to tell here, as long as our names are left out of it. Yeah. Damn right.
I wonder how things will go for the Otham now that they have firearms.
Well enough, I hope. Provided they don't point them at us.
No, it's going to go bad. The thing is that they're likely to spin something like this to a story where it will be bad.
Stokes was carrying.
Pity it's in such a sorry state.
I shouldn't leave this here.
It's good to see someone who respects their country.
Yeah, this is bad.
Well, let's talk.
What about?
So how did you wind up here in Vespuccia?
That is a very long story, and I do not wish to relate it now. Perhaps another time?
Fair enough. I have to ask, what went on at the Rosewater Post?
That so-called newspaper editor dared to write that the People's Revolution was over. That we had been crushed by the forces of the Spanish army. Defeated. We will not abandon our cause. I demanded a correction. What did I get instead? A defenestration.
Rough break.
Yes.
Right. Carry on. Can we talk?
What's on your mind? 'Cause you know I've been wondering about the Otham. What do you suppose will happen to them now that they're armed with guns?
The soldiers will respect their borders. They'll be able to defend themselves. The soldiers will declare war on them. That's probably what's going to happen.
I worry the fort will see it as an excuse to declare an all-out war.
Yes, that is my fear as well. If Stokes attacks and they successfully fend him off, then perhaps he will leave them alone. But it will certainly not happen without bloodshed.
Well, best of luck to him.
Enough jabber. Let's push on.
Yeah, that was my concern as well. Their solution was not particularly good. Like, mutual... the way of disturbing the peace that way...
You're quite certain you know what you're doing?
Just leave everything to me, and stand far, far back.
That is a lot of explosives.
Impressive work there, Phil.
Gracias.
And an explosion will certainly liven up your article. Eh, Harley?
Right, I'm going to quickly throw down a save. Be right with you. Okay. No, I do think this is out, because the game says there's lots of different paths we can take, and there are multiple endings. So I wonder how our decisions here will impact.
Hey, Phil? Let's talk.
What about?
How did you become so proficient with explosives?
The science of it always fascinated me, even as a child. I read a great deal about mining and demolitions. The lessons were invaluable. So, when my parents sent me to university, I studied civil engineering. Most people do not realize just how much care must be taken when dealing with dynamite.
Hang on. You have a university education?
Of course. Does this surprise you?
No, I just didn't think a revolutionary would have a degree.
Well, I do. From the Escuela Superior de Ingenieros in Madrid.
Right. Carry on. How are you holding up, Jake?
Oh, just fine, just fine. Well, slap my behind and call me Betsy.
Not sure what I was expecting to find, but it wasn't this.
It has been completely ransacked.
Still, there's got to be some indication of where Clark took his money. Let's take a look around. But watch yourselves. No telling what any of these doohickeys might be capable of.
Okay, so there's a lot of things to interact with.
I can't really see through the porthole, but it looks dense in there. No handle.
The letter outside talked about a way for him to do experiments and do the lighting, correct?
February, upon hearing news, when they hounded after enduring one day when ration with warm regard. P.S. How you managed to rig a TT-180 console to control both your equipment and door mechanisms still baffles me. Mine is...
Right, yeah.
Looks like it's connected to the door somehow.
And that wire runs to the console back there.
Won't do us any good if there's nothing power in this place, though.
At least Dr. Clark practiced fire safety. I can't see through. The window is too grimy. A wooden mannequin in a cage? I have so many questions.
You sure you want them answered?
Can we talk?
What's on your mind?
This place sure is something, isn't it?
I admit, I never gave much credence to all that ethericity business. But seeing all them contraptions and appurtenances, let's just say it's given me a new appreciation for Clark's tenacity.
Enough jabber. Let's push on. Hey,
What about?
Clark's lab is really quite something, wouldn't you agree?
Yes, something unnatural. Something perverse. What possessed him to undertake this research is beyond me.
Right. Carry on.
Okay.
There's about 2 inches of dust. Empty. I can't make heads nor tails of this chicken scratch. Looks like some type of cannon, and it's pointing right at the cage.
Well, we know he did an experiment with disintegrated people.
What in the ether is this thing?
I wouldn't get too close.
Some kind of console. Seems to connect to a few things.
That is the TT-180, which is what he was talking about.
Is this some kind of combination or code?
Maybe it's a frequency to like 9207. Okay, maybe we could try that in a second.
Not much left. Some books and a broken device.
Okay, and that's everything we've looked at.
This Clark fellow was into some strange things, wasn't he?
I'm starting to understand why he chose to do his work out in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
This may have held something interesting once, but now it's just lodging for spiders. How are you holding up, Jake?
Oh, just fine, just fine.
This must be where Clark parked his rear during his experiments. This is where all the cables wind up. Guess we won't get to see what's up on the roof.
Just as well. I prefer to keep my feet on the ground.
Looks like a toolbox. What's it doing all the way up there? Way too high for me.
Want me to give you a boost?
Nah, I still couldn't reach. I'll think of something else. Hey, Phil? Let's talk.
What about?
Can you think of any way to get that box down?
I'm afraid reaching high things has never been my forte.
Right? Carry.
Okay.
I can't begin to fathom what these contraptions are for.
Nothing of use to us.
Anything interesting in there?
Not really. Probably why they were left behind.
Okay. Let's move the chair.
Maybe this will help. Then again, maybe not. Can we talk?
What's up?
Any clever ideas to get to that confounded box?
Not too many, I'm afraid.
Hang on, I've got an idea. Why don't you just shoot the box down?
Beg pardon?
Let's put that gunslinging know-how of yours to work.
I may be a showman, but I ain't a performing monkey. Besides, I never perform sharpshooting tricks without a crowd.
Crowd be damned. I want to see what's in the box.
You've proven yourself resourceful. I'm sure you can find a more practical way to get to that box that doesn't involve me wasting ammo.
I don't understand. You showed off your prowess with a gun before. Now all I'm hearing are excuses. Why so shifty all of a sudden?
All right, look. The truth is, I've gone a mite rusty. A couple of years ago, I could have done it with my eyes shut. But time ain't been kind to my hands.
So how did you pull off that juggling trick?
Danny's the one that shoots the ball from the wings. You want that box down so bad, ask him to help you when he gets back.
Enough jabber. Let's push on. This may have held something.
Okay.
I get the impression this is what powers everything in here.
We just need to get it running again somehow.
I bet the machine's guts are behind this panel. Sinister, if you ask me. No good. There's some power getting through, but it needs more. I can't remove it with my hand.
Okay, so you need to unscrew it. Okay, let's think about this logically.
This may have held some... Guess we won't get to see what's...
Just as well.
Maybe so we could get out from outside. I don't think we're going to help. Okay. We need something long that we can use to get the box.
Dios mío, what is this abomination?
Howdy, folks. Interested in learning about Coltit's miracle elixir?
Of course we are, little lady.
Then step on over here.
My guess is the primary ailment these folks cure is swollen purses. Professor Xander Coltit III. Good medicine for good people. I'm sure there's a lesson here about the laws of supply and demand. Special offer. Limited time only. 1 bottle for 5 crowns. Hey, Phil?
What about? Whatever you say.
Okay.
Can we talk?
What's on your mind?
Might I borrow that arrowhead for a spell?
By all means. Maybe it'll bring you some luck, too.
Enough jabber. Some of these bottles are starting to collect dust.
Boy, oh boy, I sure wish I was you.
Beg pardon?
Why, today's your lucky day.
Is that right?
Yes, sir. You're just in time to experience the travesty of Xander Coltit III's miracle elixir.
The what now?
Oh, dang. I mean, the majesty of Xander Coltit III's miracle elixir. My name is Olivia Coltit, and I'm here to answer all your questions about this evolutionary new medication.
Are you sure you don't mean revolutionary new medication?
That's what I said. So, do you want to hear about it or not?
Look, kid, we're not born yesterday, townies. You can spare us the song and dance.
I'll leave her be. I think she's charming.
Thanks, mister. My daddy says that to get anywhere in this business, charm is financial.
I think you mean essential?
I know what I mean.
You wouldn't happen to be related to a kid in Rosewater named Jem, would you?
No, ma'am. Far as I know, I'm a lonely child.
Why are you parked in the middle of the desert when there's a town full of potential customers not 2 miles from here?
Oh, I'm just minding the wagon while my daddy's doing his business at the fort. But he told me to stand out here and detract anybody who might come by.
And has anyone else come by?
Oh, sure. Tons of folk. Only one who didn't stop was a feller on horseback. Too bad, 'cause the guy he was hauling looked like he could have used some elixir.
Say, do you know anything about that lab over there?
No, but I did hear a big boom coming from that way. Was that your doing?
No.
Oh, come on, you could tell me. I'm no tattler.
I said no. Now stop asking.
Fine, jeez.
Okay.
Fine, I'll bite. Tell me about this miracle elixir.
Glad you asked. From the maker of the wildly popular Coltit's emulsified soporific comes Coltit's miracle elixir, the finest, most elective tonic in Vespuccia, guaranteed to treat and cure all illnesses from arthritis to yellow fever. And for a special limited time, we're selling it for the treasonable price of just 5 crowns.
5 crowns seems a bit pricey. How about I give you 2 instead?
Sorry, ma'am. Daddy told me not to hackle.
Sounds pretty miraculous, all right. What's in this elixir, anyway?
Oh, I don't know. Daddy's the one who makes it. Oh, but I know he gets his secret ingredient from some lady named Ethel. He always talks about her when he makes a new batch.
All right, give me a bottle.
Yay! Thanks, ma'am. How about your friends? Want 2 more for them?
We'll share.
Oh, okay. If you change your mind, you know where to find me. And if we're gone by then, well, best of luck to you.
I think I've heard enough for now. We'll just be going.
It was a real pressure.
Okay. So you can go to the fort. I don't want to go to the fort. It's be honest, because obviously that's where the guy got sent back to. Maybe we can use the arrowhead to unscrew the plate. That'd be my guess. Either that or clamber up onto the roof. I'm pretty sure we need to get power back to that so we can power the door to let us further into this facility. Chair won't work. Let's try using this.
Let's see if this works.
Yeah, so that works.
That did it. This wire needs patching up. That won't help.
Okay.
Fort Beaumont's parade flag looking worse for wear. Whew! That'll put hairs on your chest. Professor Xander Colpit III's Miracle Elixir. Guaranteed to cure what ails you. I'm sure that's the case if what ails you is sobriety. This wire needs patching up. That won't help. Let's put some of this elixir to good use.
Clean off the terminal there. The flag, basically, maybe?
There's a thought, but this is way too big.
Okay, so use the arrowhead.
I hope this isn't considered treason.
Cut a strap out and straight that around there.
That should do it. Well, I'll be.
Looks like Phil managed to get the door open.
I wonder if they found anything inside.
We are up and running.
Impressive.
This technology is amazing. What did this Clark fellow intend to do with such power?
I'm beginning to wonder about that myself.
Nice job getting the lights back on.
Get everything squared with the Otham?
I think so.
They're adequately supplied. They should be well off for some time.
Well, I suppose we should see about...
Hello? Is someone in here?
Damn. Looks like we've attracted some attention.
I come in peace. Please, make yourself known.
Guess we don't have much choice.
Hail! Goodness, I wasn't expecting so many of you.
And we weren't expecting anybody at all.
And just who might you be?
I am Paul Burkhart, emissary of the Luminarians.
The what now?
We are disciples of Dr. Clark, protectors of his artifacts and legacy.
No kidding. So you must know all about him then.
Quite so.
Let's go with that
Does
one.
that include knowing where all his things have gone?
If you seek enlightenment, we will be glad to share our wisdom with you. But let us all return to the commune. We must not further defile the sanctity of this place. Come, I am eager to learn about you all.
Come on, let us just open the door to the lab, mate.
Welcome to Chrysalis, friends. Feel free to explore, converse with the residents. You'll find we have much to offer. We'll speak again soon.
What an accommodating feller.
This is all very strange. You all might be into this porqueria, but I want no part of it. I am going back to the lab.
Suit yourself.
Yeah, like, this is very strange.
Alright, let's see what we can learn about where Clark's stash might be. But let's not overplay our hand, shall we? If anybody asks, our interest is purely academic.
I'm really not a good liar, Mr. Ackerman.
Shoot, nobody's asking you to lie, Sugar. Just withhold certain details. We're interested in learning about Clark. That's all there is to it. Come on, Danny. Let's see where our friend's gone off to.
I know lying doesn't come natural to some. For others, it's like breathing. Don't take this amiss, but if you'd like some pointers, sometimes it's good to be able to keep certain things to yourself you don't want everybody and his uncle to know.
Oh. All right.
Believe what you're saying, yeah.
Above all else, be confident. If you sound like you believe what you're saying, they will too.
You seem to have a lot of experience in these matters.
Sometimes the truth hurts and it's kinder to lie.
I think sometimes the truth can do more harm than good. A lie can be a kindness.
Is that really what you believe?
If what someone doesn't know can't hurt them, why shatter their peace? Or bring trouble down on somebody else just for principle?
Dishonesty is disrespect. For others, for God, for oneself. For instance, I would never conceal the truth from a patient, no matter how grim the outlook.
Well, I won't argue with that. The body should know what they're up against. I don't lie to hurt people. Sometimes it's just the only way.
That's good to know, I guess. Your advice is appreciated. I'll just see what I can find out on my own.
Oh boy. What does the diary say? Let's see. A mixed town called Chrysalis. We met another of the Rufamangans selling snake oil out on the wagon by the road with a silver tongue so long so you wouldn't help tripping over it as he prattled. I would swear these kids all belong in the same secret club. Phil has provided a useful resource for allies skilled at destruction, whatever his other talents, wielding dynamite like a crowbar. Goes into the lab. The lab we found was picked over with little left but cryptic and rustic machinery. Coaxing it to life, I produced a terrifying blast of green light that set my teeth tingling and attracted some notice. We're not the only ones who have been drawn to the site. Nearby are a group of folk calling themselves Chrysalis and themselves the Luminarians. Okay.
If the smell's anything to go by, that crate's full of fertilizer.
I mean, the thing with there's a reason why honesty can be called being brutally honest. Is that sometimes it can have...
Not very intimidating. No wonder the crops are bare.
It can have unfortunate outcomes. And though honesty is normally the best policy, if it leads to, for example, sometimes a quiet lie is better than a loud truth. Especially if it would bring conflict or massive social upheaval. But in these kind of situations, it's always harder to juggle and balance everything.
Certainly colorful.
Okay.
They have an automated irrigation system. Pretty ingenious. Seems like they're pretty self-sufficient here.
Okay.
Suppose that's where the animals are kept. Kitchen to the left, rostrum to the right.
Okay, let's go and check out the kitchen, but I'll be back in 1 second, folks. And we're back, folks, right here. So let's head to the kitchens.
Quite the contraption. Full of grain, by the look of it. My, that's quite imaginative.
So from farmers to gods.
Is this breakfast?
It will be. I hope everyone likes it.
I think I saw this model in the latest Bowls Clearage Frontier catalog. Fancy. This isn't much use with a wheel missing. Handle still looks good, at least. Nadine, could we have a word?
Of course.
You enjoying yourself here?
These are good people. I'm glad we met them.
You don't find them a bit odd?
I'll admit, I don't quite comprehend their philosophical ideas. But they've welcomed us with open arms. The least we can do is offer open minds.
I'll leave you to your conversation. Excuse me?
Ah, hello. You must be one of Miss Redbird's companions.
That's right. Harley Leger.
My name is Evan. Evan Holbrook. Welcome to Chrysalis.
Evan was just showing me the cookhouse. You know they grow or raise everything they eat here themselves?
Well, mostly. Sometimes we need to resupply from town, but we aim to be fully self-reliant. Our dedication will be rewarded with bounty.
So, are you the biscuit roller for this community, or what?
Not quite. Everyone in Chrysalis does their part. It's my day on the rota to fix breakfast.
Do you have a doctor?
We have a few skilled in healing, yes. I do wish we had more knowledge of agriculture. Our crops haven't been thriving like we hoped.
What's your story, Evan? How did you join up with these folks?
Well, like many of the others here, I was living in New Bretagne. My wife was there at the etheric demonstration at the expo. I thought I'd lost her forever. But emissary Paul found me and explained how she hadn't perished, merely transcended. At first, I didn't believe him. I wanted to throttle him, actually.
I can understand that reaction.
But I realized that in my grief, I had become blinded.
Oh, I am so sorry.
Don't be. One day I'll transcend too, and we'll be reunited in the ether.
You said your crops weren't doing well. Why not?
Getting the irrigation in this year saved some of the crop, but we're facing lean times. We simply must find a way to grow enough to feed everyone.
Did you ever meet Dr. Clark?
Alas, no. I hadn't really heard of him before the expo. I was looking at the waxed anatomical models in the medical marvels exhibit. But my wife said they turned her stomach, so she went to see the etheric pavilion instead. I don't think she really knew who Bennett Clark was either. It was just something to pass the time. If only either of us knew what a significant thing was about to happen.
Clark's demonstration?
Indeed. The miracle that drew aside the veil and took my wife and the other 14 blessed souls up into the etheric realm. I only regret that I wasn't there, so I could have gone along with her.
Do you know where Dr. Clark disappeared to?
Evocator Bennett didn't disappear. He transcended.
Again, you use this word. What do you mean by it?
He passed through the etheric gateway and joined with the luminous ones in the cosmos.
Oh.
Exactly what was Dr. Clark researching?
Ethericity, of course.
Of course, but what about it? Energy sources? Industrial applications? What?
Miss Leger, I couldn't begin to tell you. Whatever reasons he may have given the public, the bankers, the professors, and what have you, his true purpose was to open the way for humanity to pass into the etheric realm. And it wasn't easy. He spent 2 years in that laboratory before transcending. Soon the day will come when we all can follow him.
It was good talking to you. I'll leave you both to it.
Goodbye for now.
See you later, Harley.
All good?
Yes.
Great, cult.
Well, well, if it isn't my old friend.
The Defiler returns.
Hey now, don't get your britches in a twist.
You're a guest of Emissary Paul, so I'm obliged to welcome you. But if you continue casting your shadows of discord over all that is bright here, there will be consequences.
Now just where do you get off saying I'm casting shadows of discord or whatever?
I caught you trespassing outside the laboratory. Then your friend blasted the door off.
It was all in the name of research. I'm just as interested in all this as you.
You've a peculiar way of showing it.
Did you ever have a chance to meet Dr. Clark?
No. Nor did I desire to.
No?
Ethericity is not a power to be trifled with. I've no interest in meeting someone who treats it as a plaything.
Where did Dr. Clark end up?
Not where he should have.
Do you know any details about Dr. Clark's research?
He was toying with fire, pure and simple. He may have been inspired and driven to his work by the Luminous Ones, but he was only their tool. He did not acknowledge their undeniable glory or show them the proper respect. He took a battering ram to the door of heaven. When they tired of the noise, they whisked him away inside the gates, while the rest of us still wait outside.
So what you're saying is, you don't actually know.
I've underestimated you. I didn't think there could be someone more arrogant than Dr. Clark.
So what brought you to Chrysalis?
My personal business is none of yours.
Touchy. What's so special about this place that they've got you standing guard?
This building houses our collection of artifacts salvaged from Dr. Clark's laboratory.
Oh, so you're the ones who looted the place.
We did not loot it. We saved important items from obscurity and decay.
Think I might take a quick peek?
Absolutely not. Outsiders are forbidden.
What if I brought you a new artifact for your collection?
Then I would be very surprised. We've already retrieved everything of value from the laboratory.
Even from that locked room?
That room is inaccessible. Do not even consider attempting to breach it.
So how does one go about joining your little club?
You think if you joined us that I would just suddenly allow you to enter?
Sure, you said only outsiders were forbidden.
Nice try, but not on my watch.
I'll leave you to your guarding. Try not to die of boredom.
Okay, so we obviously need to go back to the labs at some point and get the door open to get the artifact to get into the rest of his research. Okie dokie.
Something about that makes my skin crawl. The butterfly makes this one less creepy, but not by much.
Looks like people have been
Hope I'm not
incinerated.
interrupting anything.
Wasn't it the people at the expo who were like vaporized, left behind nothing but shadows?
Ah, Harley. Miss Larkin here was just telling me about this fascinating place.
Hello and welcome. It's so nice to have visitors.
Thanks, but I was hoping to have a word with Jake in private.
Of course.
What's on your mind?
So, what have you picked up from these fine folks?
This ethericity stuff is much more complex than I thought. Seems our friend Dr. Clark may have been on to something after all.
I think I've found a promising lead. There's a shack on the other side of the commune full of things salvaged from Clark's lab. Only problem is it's being guarded by that first luminarian we met.
Oh, the feller with the tinfoil chapeau?
The very same. How can I get past him?
He's a peculiar one, but he seems to be the most reverent of these folk. Perhaps you could win him over with a peace offering. There might still be something in the lab that's been overlooked.
I'll just leave you to it then.
Okay. I think this is a good place to end for the day, folks, before we go any further in. We'll talk to us people next time, and then go into the labs. I've been Cornish-Knight, this has been Rosewater, and I shall see you all again soon. Goodbye.